This is the LECTRIC XP 3.0 long-range electric bike, which honestly looks pretty solid and sleek for an e-bike. The frame is a nice mix of sturdy and practical, making it feel stable when you get on, but it's also designed so you don't have to struggle to hop over the bar, which can matter more than people realize, especially if you've got bags, or you're dealing with limited space, or you just don't want to throw your leg awkwardly. The white color pops, especially in sunlight, but it doesn't scream for attention, which I like. When I first started checking out electric bikes, I'll admit I was a bit overwhelmed. There's so much tech talk, watts, torque, pedal assist, throttle, and it can seem complicated. With this one, after all the research and actually riding it for a while, it's easier than it sounds. Key features for me are the 500-watt rear hub motor that kicks up to 1,000 watts for a boost. What that means is, this thing takes off fast for an e-bike and has no trouble climbing hills. If you haven't tried an electric bike before, that pedal assist is something you'll appreciate right away. You can pick from 5 different pedal assist levels, so you control how much help the motor gives you when you pedal. If you dial it to a lower setting, you get more exercise and save battery. Turn it up and it feels like you've got a permanent tailwind. It actually makes tough uphills almost too easy. I've been using the XP 3.0 mostly for errands around town and some casual rides in the evenings with my dad. We took it for some longer trips too, including back roads, city streets, bike paths, and even some rougher patches. The big tires add a lot of stability and soak up bumps, which is a game changer if you're riding on less than perfect roads, gravel, or grass. I notice how much smoother the ride is compared to the old city bike I had. The comfort is definitely there, thanks to the bigger padded saddle and front suspension. You don't get that sore feeling after a longer ride, which used to be my main complaint with other bikes. If you worry about battery range, honestly, it's more than enough for most daily use. This model gives me up to roughly 60 to 65 miles on a full charge if I'm not going wild with the highest assist all the time. To put that in perspective, I can go to work, swing by the grocery store, meet a friend, and get back without getting close to empty. I don't even have to think about charging every day, which is a relief. Charging takes 5 to 6 hours from empty, so I just do it overnight. The battery is easy to remove, which, in my opinion, is a must. Just unlock it and take it inside. The display panel sits right near your left hand, so adjusting the assist level, checking your speed, turning the front light on or off is all super easy. I appreciate that it's not confusing, even if you've never ridden an e-bike. There's also a thumb throttle. Just to explain, a throttle lets you cruise with no pedaling when you need a break, like getting started at a stoplight or moving through a busy intersection. It just adds way more flexibility and fun to the ride. One of my favorite parts is the folding design. Honestly, this was something I wasn't sure I needed until I tried it. The frame folds in half with a simple lever, so I can put the bike in my car trunk without wrestling with huge hardware or struggling in the driveway. It makes occasional trips or storing the bike indoors much less of a hassle. If someone's tight on apartment space, it really makes sense. There's a strong rear rack, which I've used for groceries and attaching a little crate. I did notice you could put a child's seat back there if you wanted, which is reassuring if you're thinking about family use. The step-through frame helps even more for hopping on and off, especially if you've loaded the rack or you're wearing something that makes swinging your leg difficult. Hydraulic disc brakes are another feature that makes this e-bike feel high quality. They grip tightly and stop you smoothly, even in sudden rain. It's the kind of thing you notice only when you're climbing or descending and need solid control. The brake levers feel like a normal bike, so it's not a new skill to learn, which makes the transition from a regular bike pretty natural. For someone new to disc brakes, the main thing is that you get consistent and powerful stopping with much less effort than old-school rim brakes. The adjustability is something I appreciated right away. You can move the seat up and down, same for the handlebar angle and height, so it's easy to dial in comfort regardless of your size. I'm average height, and it fit me well. But my dad, who's a bit taller, also felt comfortable switching to his preference in just a few seconds. Durability matters to me, and the aluminum frame on the XP 3.0 feels like it can take a beating. Riding over bumps, carrying heavier loads, it doesn't creak or flex in a way that would worry me long term. The overall build is solid and not cheap feeling at all. One thing to note, it's not lightweight. At about 64 pounds, it's heavier than a traditional bike, so it's not something I'd want to carry up 3 flights of stairs. But for normal lifting, like in and out of a car trunk, it's manageable, especially with the folding feature helping out. When I first got the bike, the setup was manageable. There's a little bit of assembly, but nothing too intimidating if you've ever tinkered with a regular bike. The instructions are clear and you don't need a ton of extra tools. For maintaining it, just keep it clean, check the tire pressure, and wipe down the drivetrain now and then. From my experience using this e-bike for commutes, errands, and longer weekend rides, my biggest worry at first was whether the electric part would be complicated or awkward. It turned out to be effortless. Pedal when you want, throttle when you don't, and adjust the motor help as needed. For someone new to e-bikes, that flexibility and ease of use is super helpful. I'd recommend this for anyone looking for a fun, versatile, and really practical electric bike. It's perfect for city dwellers who want to avoid traffic, but also great for those wanting to take it on some adventures or carry some groceries. The one thing to keep in mind is the weight. It is a bit heavy if you plan to lift it all the time. Also, you have to get used to where the key slot is to remove the battery, which is a bit awkward at first. But these are pretty minor compared to how much you get in terms of features, range, and overall quality. In conclusion, the LECTRIC XP 3.0 long-range electric bike brings together strong performance, excellent battery range, comfort, and real-world usefulness, without making you feel like you need to be a bike geek to ride it. It's made my everyday outings more enjoyable and way less stressful. If you're looking for something you can trust for longer rides and daily commutes, or if you just want a way to have more fun outside, I honestly think it's worth considering. I will leave all the information about the LECTRIC XP 3.0 long-range electric bike in the comments. I hope to see you again in the following videos.